Well, my name is Brad Smith. I've been vegan for 8 years now.
Hi, I'm Cheryl Petrillo. I've been vegan since 2011.
My name is Donnie Moss. I'm a grassroots animal rights campaigner here in New York City. I went vegan in 2005.
I'm Ms. Bonnie Clapper. I've been a vegan since the summer of 2018.
I'm Craig Seaman. I stopped eating meat 38 years ago and went completely vegan 10 years ago and went whole foods plant-based a year ago. I went vegan because of my cat originally.
I myself have been vegan for about 13 years. My name is Chase Avier, and I'm helping to lead Chance today at the Animal Liberation March here in New York City. That's my first time in New York.
Adair. I have been vegan since November 21st, 2020, shortly before Thanksgiving. So I didn't have to have that last Thanksgiving because I made a better decision.
Marina Dage, and this is my son Julian, and this is my grandson Ethan, and we're all vegan. And I went vegan in 1984, I believe, when I saw the Animals film on PBS.
Hi, my name is Ray Ippolito. I've been vegan, it'll be 19 years.
Christine Collins. I stopped eating animal products in 2014, and what inspired me was the animals at the time. I just noticed the animal cruelty involved in any use of animal products and just decided I didn't want to play any part in that at all.
Leslie Just. Oh gosh, I stopped eating all animal products completely about 5 or 6 years ago.
My name is Lauren, and I became vegan kind of randomly. I saw this video that said that going vegetarian 5 days a week was better than driving a hybrid car. I didn't really care either way. I didn't really care about the environment, but I just was like, oh, that's like easy enough. Yeah, and I stopped eating meat.
I'm Sandy J, and I've been vegan for 6 to 7 years now.
Michelle Granberry. I went vegan about 8 years ago.
My name is Eleanor Hoffman from New Jersey, representing the Bear Group, and went vegan. It was one day I was just outside and I saw a bear in my yard.
My name is Kathy McCartney. I'm with the Bear Group, and we work to stop black bear trophy hunting in New Jersey.
My name is Tom Page. I became a vegan because I'm a lawyer and I defend animals who are subject to being killed. My work is only with companion animals.
My name is Alexander Puddles. I went vegan 9 years ago.
I'm Scott. This is my wife, Laura. We've been vegan for coming up on 3.5 years now.
Hey, what's up? My name is Natalie Fulton. I went vegan because I watched Dominion.
Chickens in a poultry truck without their wings, and I felt, damn, the only reason why they're there is because I wanted chicken nuggets. So I stopped eating animal flesh, but then I didn't make the connection with dairy and egg industry. I fooled myself saying like cage-free eggs and organic milk, but then a vegan friend held me accountable, and I realized that I have so much blood on my hands. And then I forced myself to watch dairy cruelty on YouTube, and then I went vegan 6 to 7 years back.
I was inspired actually by my friend Amber, who started showing me the videos and all the cruel, exploitive, terrible stuff. And so I went vegan with her as it developed, and I stopped eating animals totally, like all their body parts and fluids and products.
Why am I eating vegan? It's because of who I don't eat anymore. So it's all about the animals. I'm not eating dead animal body parts or the creations, not using their skin or using them as entertainment.
I saw the DVD video Meet Your Meat made by PETA, which took viewers behind the scenes into factory farms and slaughterhouses. And after that 10-minute video, I shut my computer and I said, I don't know what I'm gonna eat, but I'm never eating animals again.
I was a pescatarian for years until I spoke with an individual who ran fishing boats, and he told me how fish were pulled out of the sea and suffocated to death slowly. That was the end of eating fish. I've been a proud vegan since 2018. I became a vegan after meeting renowned animal rights activist Donnie Moss. I had stopped eating animals for many years, but really didn't know that eggs and milk were cruel and horrible and inhumane. Donnie showed me 2 5-minute Facebook video clips, and that's the last time I ever touched or consumed anything that had to do with an animal.
My cat spoke to me and he told me that he was an animal. And I said, you know, all the other animals just like you got the same spirit and heart. So he told me to go vegan, even though he's an obligate carnivore. Sometimes they have important messages, those animals, regardless of what their diet is. They help you tell you what your diet should be. And if you're human, you should be vegan.
This movie, District 9, is a sci-fi movie about aliens, and the humans are oppressing the aliens, and they make you hate the humans. And then the next day I was eating a steak, and I was like, wait a minute, I'm discriminating against animals just because they're different. And that ain't right. I'm nice to my dog, why am I hurting a cow? So I stopped, and never looked back.
After watching a 3-minute and 17-second video put out by Mercy for Animals, praise you, Mercy for Animals, for putting out this brilliant investigative footage that showed chickens in the most horrific situations. I mean, you have to see it yourself. It was in a Tyson factory farm. Immediately, I stopped eating animals.
I was just horrified. My family had always been animal rescuers. So we always had dogs, cats, rabbits, anyone who needed a home. And when I saw how animals were abused and tortured in the animal industries, I was horrified. And I said, that's it, done. And I went vegan overnight.
I went vegan. It's a crazy story, actually. I don't know if you know this one. I was in an airplane and I was flying in, and that's when they served this stuff called food on airplanes, and it was a bowl of pasta with a piece of sausage. And when I cut into it, I'm not kidding, I wasn't on mushrooms or anything, but I just, I kind of went in like a dream. And it was like, I felt like I was kind of sucked into this thing. And all of a sudden I heard millions of animals screaming, and in front of, I could even see it when I'm talking about it every time. It's like this huge hog was in front of me, covered in blood, and she looked up at me and she went, what? I get it every time, I get chilled. It just went, and I started bawling on the airplane like a child. And I was freaking out, and my girlfriend at the time, she's like, what's going on? I said, I have no idea. And I'm just crying. And then I just got really peaceful, and I looked at her, and I said, I am never going to hurt or kill an animal ever again in my life.
Amazing.
I don't know what happened, but it happened.
Well, actually, it was back in the 90s. It was PETA. They inspired me to start on that path, and I started to explore it more and more. And then in 2014, I was diagnosed with stage 4 breast cancer. And I started to look into the dairy industry and saw the absolute abhorrent animal cruelty in the dairy industry. And so that's when I officially gave up all animal products. I stopped consuming dairy products at that time. I had given up eating animal flesh for about 20 years before that.
I've seen lots of films, yeah, from the time I was young. Like on PBS, I would see films of dairy farms, like farm sanctuary rescuing dairy calves. I'm from Buffalo, New York, so we've done a couple of screenings there of Dominion, and of course What the Health, which is not really an animal rights video, but Game Changers, Cowspiracy, and it took me a long time to really make that little connection, and yeah, I had to align my ethics with my beliefs. I knew it was wrong, and I think I just set a date. It was New Year's, and I said, that's it, I'm just giving it up, and I did.
Then I had a mouse infestation in my house. This is kind of graphic, but my partner at the time killed the mice, and the mother came back to her nest and was so distraught and so horrified, since she was frantic, and she wasn't afraid of us because she was so upset in the moment, and so obviously feeling the loss of her family. And I went online and I did some research. Shortly after that, somehow I saw the Gary Yourofsky video, and that's what really cinched it. I had to go vegan.
Because it just felt like the absolute right thing to do. It was a way to align my morals and my spirituality with my actions.
I found out that people were trying to kill them, and so then I looked up bear organizations, went to them, found out that they want to kill these animals. And when I went to that meeting, no one there ate animals. And they were saying, if you're trying to protect them, how can you eat them? So at that time, I immediately stopped eating them. And that was 23 years ago.
What finally got me to go vegan completely, I saw a picture on Facebook of a farmer, I'm gonna cry, taking a baby newborn calf and putting him into a wheelbarrow to take him away while the mother is crying for him. And that's what did it for me. It was a video, actually, yeah. I had to see it. I had to see it with my eyes to see what they do to them in the dairy industry. Dairy is a very harmful, hurtful industry. People don't realize it. They think it's a bunch of happy cows, and it's not. And I gave up eggs when I found out what they do to the male chicks, how they grind them up. They grind them up. They put them in a meat grinder and they grind them up. And I can't be part of that.
And I hired a bunch of vegan staff members, and I realized at some point that the chickens and the cows and the pigs were the same as the dogs and the cats that I fight for. And that's really probably what was the last straw when I sort of came to that enlightenment.
After I watched a couple documentaries, I know Earthlings was one of them. There were some documentaries or some articles that were I read through about how things happened. I don't remember the articles, but Earthlings was one of the documentaries I watched that got me over to realize, hey, this is not okay. And just realized that I needed to cut out all animal products.
You know, it was not something that we ever thought we would do. It's not a change we were expecting to make. The day we went vegan, we had bacon and eggs for breakfast. It was not something we had ever really critically thought about. And I was just sitting there petting one of our cats and just feeling, you know, the love that we felt between the two of us, you know, and how much I loved her and how much I could tell that she loved me. And I started reflecting on how special a relationship that is that we have with, you know, these animals we think of as pets. And, you know, Laura kind of challenged me on that like, it's not just those animals that are capable of those feelings. And in that moment, I literally just said, like, oh, we have to go vegan, don't we? Yeah. It was something that we had never really discussed or thought about seriously at all. And that day, we had gone grocery shopping that morning. We literally threw out the groceries.
All of our animal products, and the next day we were vegan. And I think part of it is the relationship we have with her where she trusts us. I want to be trustworthy to animals. I want to be trustworthy to every animal, and I want them to experience a world where they're free. And so I think our vision is that everyone would go vegan. That's really the goal.
And I think what they're doing to animals is absolutely barbaric, and it has no place in 2023, and we need to put this industry behind us.
Thank you so much for introducing me to that book, An Unnatural Order by Jim Mason. That book was so eye-opening to understand the context of animal exploitation and how it goes hand in hand with how our society evolved and our lost connection with nature. It is a crucial book for all vegans and non-vegans alike.
I was really inspired to take it to the next level, and that was to show other people what I saw that maybe they weren't aware of. Because, you know, they do a really good job of hiding this stuff from us. So rallies and marches like this are really important for visibility, for people to see it, to push it out there. For just the average person walking by here that has no idea what's going on, they see the billboard or they hear the speaker. So it's important for us to constantly be talking about this and showing people. We can't expect them just to do the right thing, but we can show them the path.
After I realized, after a while, started animal activism in 2017. I have a non-profit group called Animal Defenders Greater Lehigh Valley in Pennsylvania. Came up here to do the march with my buddy, fellow vegan as fuck, DJ Brad. And I think it's really important to be here and support the activists here in this area. I know there's going to be hundreds of people here. We're all very like-minded, kindred spirits. We're all working for total liberation of animals and promoting plant-based, well, not plant-based, vegan eating, my friend.
This was 18 years ago. Back then it was a lot harder than it is now. Now we have plant-based burgers and plant-based eggs and plant-based cheeses, and so now it's a breeze. So I would encourage anybody who hasn't already made the switch to do the right thing for their health, for the planet, and for the animals. Go vegan.
What is my place in the movement? I'm a lawyer, and as soon as I became a vegan, I started offering my legal services to activists and animal rights organizations, not just around the country, but actually around the world. I'm a proud member of the Direct Action Everywhere legal team, and I believe that the law will be the main driver of change and ending animal torture. When the law changes, when animals are recognized as thinking, feeling, sentient beings who have rights just like we do, once that is shown in court, once the law changes, it will be exponential in terms of protecting animals.
Longtime vegan activist But for the longest time, I was vegan for the animals, as everyone should be. But I was a bit of a junk food vegan. And unbeknownst to me, I had a congenital heart condition. And it caught up and bit me in the tush. And I spent 8 days in the hospital being served vegan food. And they finally got my heart rate down. Then I met with both the cardiologist and, importantly, a vegan-based dietitian. And we decided we could tackle most of these problems with a diet adjustment. So we went through and eliminated all the junk food, eliminated all the processed food, got rid of cooking with oil, bought an air fryer and an Instapot pressure cooker, and micromanaged my diet to every single thing, such as I have flaxseed and chia seeds, balanced the different color and types of vegetables, added more nutritional yeast for my B vitamins because there was potential reactions I was getting because of the heart issues. And while I still nominally have the heart congenital issue, all my readings are normal.
And we are gonna have about 500 vegans or so, and it's gonna be intense. So I'm here to make some noise.
Thursday was my last day at the job that I've worked at for 4 years. I worked for the leather industry, and I quit. I told them I'm done participating in any industry that commodifies animals. So I'm unemployed. So if anyone's hiring, I take great photos. And I only want to work for the animals.
I've been involved in so many groups over the years. I think first initially PETA, Transspecies, Suppress, which was an anti-vivisection group. I was on the board of directors. Also the Medical Research Modernization Committee, and then I was an advisor to Jewish Vegetarians of North America. And then in 2010, Karen Davis and myself and several others started the Alliance to End Chickens as Kaporos, which is an ancient ritual. It's an atonement ritual, and it can be done with a sack of money, but many people do it swinging a live chicken, and it's horrific. And then the chicken is killed, slaughtered right in the street. It's really a horrific ritual, and since 2010 we've been trying to encourage people to use money instead of chickens. And we've rescued hundreds of chickens.
And then very shortly after that, then I just became active because I have a big mouth. So I use my big mouth for some good stuff, and I do activism, everything from speaking to lobbying on Capitol Hill to music, yeah. You know, and things I can't tell you about, but lots of different things, you know. It's what it takes. Besides being vegan, right? Besides being vegan, it's really important that we take action. Because, you know, being vegan is awesome, but it's just not enough. There's too few of us. There's too much going on. And if we take the environmental crisis that's happening as a direct result of animal agriculture, we really need to act immediately and potently and as much as we can, like everybody here.
I'm the organizer for Anonymous for the Voiceless in Buffalo, the Buffalo chapter. And we also do small demonstrations in Buffalo, so pretty much organize the Buffalo activism.
I participate in all activism, so anything from Anonymous for the Voiceless, like demonstrations, marches, Elwood's organic dog meat. I like to give free samples of that. I help people make that connection between, you know, the perception of animals, dogs versus pigs versus chickens, and, you know, any animal, really, just trying to make that connection, how we view our companions versus these animals that we raise for food. All outreach, stickering, chalking, all of the above.
I run a couple foie gras campaigns and fur. I do a lot of fur and foie gras activism. Foie gras is a diseased liver of a force-fed duck. It's one of the cruelest foods there is.
And it still didn't feel enough because animals are getting killed and abused by the millions each day. So going vegan really isn't enough. So I became a vegan activist. So right now I am an organizer with Anonymous for the Voiceless. We do vegan outreach, street activism like twice or thrice a month. And I also recently started setting up protests against horse racing. So with a wonderful organization called Horse Racing Wrongs. So we are protesting horse deaths in Ellis Park, Churchill Downs, and also we protest animal circuses and rodeos and everything.
I'm an active activist in the New Jersey, New York, and Pennsylvania area. I regularly do outreach and disruptions and protests wherever it is that I'm needed.
Also, we are with Animal Protection League of New Jersey, and we're there for the protection of all animals. But today we just happen to, bring our banner here for the bears because we're up against a fight about them being brutally killed in the bear hunts. So we're trying to have that stop.
I started doing animal rights activism probably 2017-ish, Connecticut. My first activism was animal rights, but then I started doing a little bit of environment, and then I go to a little bit of like Black Lives Matter and women's rights protests kind of things as well.
And so the paradigm shift, that's the thing I keep wondering about the most. This is an active conversation I have with my head. Is it going to take like a global crisis? Is the world going to have to start completely burning for these people to wake the F up to realize that like their eating habits are part of the big problem here? I just don't want it to have to come to something so fatal that's going to be so detrimental to so many people's lives for them to wake up to the fact that like animal agriculture is the problem.
Thank you to Rachel and the organizers, for everybody for putting this together. It's a great honor to be here. Everyone have a great day and go vegan for the animals.
I don't see how we'll ever have peace on the planet as long as it's dotted with slaughterhouses. I mean, the idea that in 2023 we have places where thousands, if not hundreds of thousands, if not millions of animals are killed a year, all victims of terror. It's so unthinkable that that exists in 2023, and it's all completely unnecessary because we have so many plant-based alternatives. Better for our health, better for the planet, and of course better for the animals.
I firmly believe in a slogan I learned from Direct Action Everywhere: one battle, one fight, human freedom, animal rights. And virtually every vegan I know feels the same way. It's one battle for the disenfranchised. Protect the animals, protect communities of color, protect LGBT rights. We cannot have peace on Earth if we abuse and neglect and disenfranchise any community, and that includes animals.
The blood pressure is great. I have the arteries of a 20-year-old, according to my cardiologist. My ejection fraction, the important number they'll often talk about, is absolutely normal. So, finally, after 2 years, the cardiac surgery team said, "You don't need us anymore. You're all normal." Although the issues are still there, my heart compensates it well. And it does that because I went with a whole foods plant-based diet. Organic, always. Oil-free. I occasionally spray oil on some things, and usually extra virgin olive oil. What I found in talking to the dietitian, even as a vegan, some oils are not good for your cholesterol. For example, coconut oil. And I was using coconut oil to make popcorn. I ended up getting an air fryer, and after I'm done air popping my popcorn, I spritz it with organic extra virgin olive oil, and instead of using salt or butter or all that garbage, I use nutritional yeast. So I get nice, cheesy, healthy popcorn without any of the oils. That was a big snack change for me. Always get organic if possible, but of course, if you can't, still get fruits and vegetables. It's very important to stay away from all processed food and definitely all animal products for a healthy heart. And it will also help against cancer too.
But I was a passive vegan. I was a passive vegan who just didn't eat animals, didn't wear animals, I didn't want to participate in that, but I wasn't an animal rights activist. Then I started advocating for a local farm sanctuary called Asha's Farm Sanctuary. The owner, Tracy Murphy, she was being persecuted by the local farmers for taking in cows that had wandered onto her property. She's been charged with theft. She's been charged with felony larceny. There's a gag order, just a lot of ridiculous things that made me need to stand up for Tracy and made others, who I'm actually here with now from Buffalo, New York, right over there. I started advocating for Tracy Murphy, and then I realized there's so many other things that we need to stand up for. So I stopped eating animals because I didn't know what we were doing to them. I didn't connect with the fact that these are living, breathing, feeling individuals. Now I do.
My vision is pretty much happening because when I first went vegan, I mean, you couldn't go to a regular store and see products that said not tested on animals, cruelty-free, vegan. Now you go into a regular supermarket and there are vegan sections, and even in the non-vegan sections, there are multiple products that say vegan, cruelty-free, and so it's happening. There's a revolution and it's happening now.
You know, all of us here, so, and you too, Nancy, so thank you for all the stuff you do.
Yeah, thank you for everything you do. You're amazing, Nancy. Thank you.
So we need more people to go vegan and not just stop there, but also take action for the animals.
And I'm really excited to be here today.
We want everyone to call the governor of New Jersey and demand it stopped.
We're a long way off, but it's growing every year, and we're out here today to make a real difference.
Yeah. And since being in New York, we've gotten involved with Anonymous for the Voiceless, so we've been participating in Cubes of Truth and getting out there and talking to people, having good conversations about, you know, the cognitive dissonance that has to happen for someone to consider themselves against animal abuse or consider themselves an animal lover, but still partake in the genocide of those same animals. And it's been a very positive change in our lives, and I can't imagine being any other way.
Same for me. We'll never go back. The second that we realized veganism is the way to be, to live a beautiful life, I'll never go back.
I am a mentor and team member with Animal Activism Mentorship. People can go to animalactivismmentorship.com. You'll be paired with a free mentor. If you're just starting out as an activist, it's a really great way to have someone sort of guide you through the process of becoming more active.
And now I will fight for animals for the rest of my life, and I will make up for all of the crimes that I've participated in.
It's time to let the girl go.
So let's all do activism every day.